Hi, my name's Dawid Naude. I'm the CEO and founder of Pathfindr. We're one of the Australian Financial Review's most innovative companies of 2024, and I'm looking forward to chatting with Dave about how to make AI happen within the massage and myotherapy industry.
Welcome to Power Diary. As you launch into our software, you're powering up your practice with the most efficient tools at your fingertips. We're here to streamline your scheduling, simplify your client communications, and support your clinic's growth every step of the way. So let's power up your practice and dive right in to Power Diary.
Hey everybody, I am Robert Libbey, registered massage therapist, coming to you from Canada. Something's just not right with this video. I just remembered that there's something that we need to do here to make this a little bit more professional. There we go. That's better. I got my Massage and Myotherapy Association toque on because it gets really cold in Australia. Well, we're in Canada right now, and it's getting close to the winter time, so it's getting a little chilly, so this is very appropriate. Again, let's start over. My name is Robert Libbey, registered massage therapist, and I'm coming to you from British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and I am extremely honored to have been asked to present at the 2025 Massage and Myotherapy Australia National Conference. We had our conference up here earlier this year, and I had an absolutely fantastic time meeting Anne and Gary and Dave from the association. I've done work with them in the past. I've written for your journal for a number of times, and I'm just absolutely honored to have been asked to do that. You guys have an amazing association down there that is just doing an amazing amount of work for you, and it is truly an honor to have been asked to work alongside them. I was down in Australia in 2018 teaching, and cannot wait to get back. I'm going to be coming to you in Perth June 14th and 15th. I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to have an hour-long conversation about deconstructing the neuropsychophysiological nature of joint pain. That's going to be an amazing talk. I've given this talk a number of times, and it just gets well received from everybody. We're also going to be talking twice. I'm going to be presenting some ligamentous articular strain techniques to calm down some cranky shoulders. So we're going to do that for 3 or 4 hours on Saturday and then again on Sunday. And the reason why I wanted to talk about shoulders is because there's a number of different kinds of shoulders that come into your office every hour with every patient. It can be a completely different shoulder, and everybody comes in talking about pain. It hurts. And they've got a lot of questions, and we try and do the best we can. and everybody tends to get really stressed about the shoulder and the shoulder pain. There's a lot of questions about, is it all broken? Like, am I broken? Do I need to be fixed? And for therapists, it's a lot of, like, what am I even doing with my hands? What am I even doing with my knowledge? What does the current research say about shoulders and pain? How do I integrate some pain science into my shoulder treatments with my patients? So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to start talking about how ligamentous tissues get injured. There's a variety of ways of how the shoulders get injured. We're going to talk about what that feels like. We're going to talk about how the wound healing process occurs, because there's some new timelines for healing based on research that we need to make you aware of. We're going to talk about the neurological innervations of the joint capsules and ligamentous tissues. Those are called arthrotomes. I've done 3 research projects. The first one, this one, we were able to document all of the neurological innervations from the tissue through the peripheral nerve right to the nerve root for every joint capsule and ligamentous tissue in the human body. We were able to also go through and do the research and find the ligamentomuscular reflexes that occur for those joint capsules, ligamentous tissues for the human body. And we were also able to document the various ways that pain referral happens for all of those tissues. And we've documented all that in those 3 research papers. We're also going to talk about our patients' thoughts, beliefs, and expectations, and your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations, and how those play into the outcomes that we have with our patients. We're going to talk about the narratives, the stories we tell, the terminology that we use with our patients, because depending on how we word our stories and our narratives and our terminologies, we can either aggravate a patient or we can make them feel like a superwoman or a superman. We're also going to talk about some case studies, and this is a patient of mine, Nilo. She had a shoulder injury. She works with Stunt Canada, so she's one of the top women in the movie industry that is working as a stunt coordinator and stunt actress. So this is her. She had a right shoulder injury, and we were able to rehab her and get her back so that she could do what she absolutely loves to do every day. We're going to talk about the 7 effects of treatments. We're also going to talk about the top 5 questions that no matter what kind of patient you got coming into your office, they all have these top 5 questions. And with this information, hopefully we're going to get you and your patients to the point where we're no longer thinking that everything is broken, but we're thinking that everything is absolutely awesome, because it is. And hopefully that calms everyone down and makes everyone just have a better outcome for their patients. So again, join me June 14th and 15th in Perth. We're going to be talking about deconstructing the neuropsychophysiological nature of joint pain. We're also going to be providing demonstrations, hands-on treatment. If you've got an active shoulder injury or something around that time, please volunteer. I'm going to want a real injury up on the stage so you guys can actually see the outcomes. If I get outcomes or if I don't get outcomes, I want it to be real world, right? So we're going to talk about techniques to calm down the cranky shoulders, and it's going to be in Perth. So again, thank you so much for being here with me today. I greatly appreciate the time and the effort that you guys are taking out of your lives to come out to the conference, and please stop by, say hi. I can't wait to see everybody there. So we'll see you in Perth in 2025. Thanks, guys.
Hi everybody, this is Dave Sheehan from The Connect Show. I'm extremely excited to be here with Dawid Naude from Pathfindr. His company, which was founded a little while ago, is all things AI. Welcome, Dawid.
Thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Now, our CEO, Anne, asked me to have a quick chat to you on The Connect Show about AI and its relevance, of course, to our membership, because that's what our Connect Show is all about, trying to find different things that of interest. And in this time around, it's a very innovative space that we're going to talk about. Did you want to talk a little bit firstly about Pathfindr and the history?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So, Pathfindr, we're an AI execution company. So, what we do is we work with businesses to train them up on how to use AI, to come up with a strategy on all the places they can apply it, and then to make it happen. So, if there's custom work that needs to be done to build something, we'll go do it for them. We're working across the board, some of the biggest companies in Australia, but also a lot of even small not-for-profits, because really the tech at the moment can be accessed and used by anybody.
So let's, are you able to give us an example of something that would be kind of, I guess, complementary to the massage industry, that someone else that you're working with in the
Yeah,
space?
yeah, sure, definitely. So, if you think of something like the massage industry, your day is mostly spent on working with patients or customers, and but there's a lot of other administrative time and things that you need to get to that you're probably doing in the evenings or after hours, that kind of thing. It may even be, let's take an example like a new research paper on some new techniques that you could use. And it could be an academic paper of the blood flow effects of applying massage to a certain area. It could be an academic paper that's 200 pages long and you'd love to read it, but you just don't have the time. And it's
Sure.
probably
Yeah.
been on your list for ages. A simple tool, even the free version of a tool like ChatGPT, would mean you could just put it in there and you could just tell it what you're trying to find out. You want the main points, you describe a bit about your role, hit enter, and it's going to go through that document, pull the key pieces of information, summarize it, and play it back to you. That's on the research side. On the more administrative side, it could be as simple as doing a reconciliation of who's paid you and invoices and who hasn't. Maybe you're comparing two spreadsheets typically to do that. Imagine just putting the two spreadsheets into a tool like ChatGPT and asking it to compare them and to tell you straight away, these are the three invoices that are missing. And here's the one customer that's paid you accidentally twice. So those types of things. The analogy to use is think of AI as a really hungry, enthusiastic, intelligent, articulate, smart graduate in your team. Like they're good, but they're also very naive. They need a lot of coaching, a lot of guidance, a lot of instruction. But the reason why I like that analogy is because if you can allocate or delegate the task to a grad, you could do it to AI. You could do it to ChatGPT. So whenever you feel like I wish I had an admin or somebody to help me with that thing, you can absolutely give that to AI.
Well, my head's spinning. I'm just thinking about my own personal situation. I've got two old databases full of customers, for instance. I wanted to find duplicates. Unfortunately, I'm on Mac and I use numbers, which is not so easy to find those duplicates. I don't know if you're aware of that. So I could ask these bots or machines to have a look at the two spreadsheets and pull out the duplicates for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, it
Oh my
would be
God.
able to do that. It would be able to do that quite well.
What
The
a
example,
dinosaur I am to even ask that question, right?
I wouldn't even say you're a dinosaur because nobody's like people say everybody's using ChatGPT. They're not. That's not true. Even the people that are only using it for a small amount of things. Most people that we show ChatGPT, which is really just the gateway drug, I guess you could call it, to AI, is even when we show them that, they're not even aware that you can do attachments, even if they've been a user for a long time. So there are so many. I think most people are right at the beginning. It's only a small portion that are actually using these things regularly.
Yeah, sure. So as far as a practitioner is concerned, you've touched on admin, you've touched on like finances and those sorts of things as well. Digging out some research that could certainly support specific techniques that maybe they're using in clinic as well. What about on the marketing side?
Yeah, marketing is a huge opportunity. So the examples that we've given so far have been very text and word based. Whereas there are many tools that bleed into video and audio as well. So, for instance, you could use a tool like HeyGen, and let's say you had HeyGen is it's just an off-the-shelf tool, probably costs like $20 a month. That you could use HeyGen to create video translation of yourself. So you could be talking about your service, and now all of a sudden you could translate that into 15 different languages and publish that across socials. Maybe you want to target a particular demographic in a different way. You could also use tools. There's a great app called Durable. You just describe the website that you want to create, and within 5 minutes, it's going to create an entire website for you. And that's just a huge time saving and cost saving for so many people that it's been on their list for a very long time to get a website or something proper. Then you can get a little bit more advanced. You could use even a tool just like ChatGPT to come up with a 16-week content campaign where you give it all the information. You say, I want 16 short things that I'm going to post onto Facebook, highlighting a different thing. It needs to be able to be read in 2 minutes, glance through, give it a bit of a description of the type of vibe it should have, and then it's going to come up with it for you. So there's lots of opportunities in that space. Yeah.
It's interesting you use the word vibe, and again, talking to my partner who's in the tertiary space, and my other friend today who is in secondary school space, and my friend from the high school talked about how you can literally get AI to find the piece that you want to extract, and then tell it to write like Taylor Swift, or tell it to write like a year 8 student. This is true, so it can actually mimic more the person that you are.
Yeah, so absolutely, it's quite easy for it because in some ways that's the core technology of how it's being created. Is it's based a tool like ChatGPT is using a technology called a large language model language, and so the reason why it'll be able to write like Taylor Swift is because it has the lyrics of all of Taylor Swift's songs, and so it knows the language that she uses. The other thing that large language models knows really well is the meaning of words, and so it knows the synonyms and possible combinations of every type of word you could imagine. And a simple way to test this at home is take a complex technique and ask it to turn it into a bedtime story for a 6-year-old, explaining how to apply that technique.
Sure.
If you haven't played with ChatGPT before, your jaw will drop at how good a job it'll do. Give it a very complex technique or a complex muscle or something like that, and get it to describe it to a 6-year-old and make it fun like a song or a bedtime story.
Okay, so let's just dig a little bit deeper. So AI in this sort of context, the power that it has increased over time, from what I understand, and that kind of means that it's pulling from all different sources around the world. For those that are brand new to this, can you just explain, like, or ask AI to make an explanation about how simple, in simple terms, how it all works?
Yeah, definitely. So let's first start with the data sources. So people will often talk about the issues of bias in AI, and the bias comes from, all it's reflecting is patterns in the training content. And so when you type in, if you were to type into a tool like ChatGPT, the cat sat on it's going to say Matt, because the most likely next word is Matt because it's been used so many times. Mm-hmm. So all that a large language model is doing is it's just coming back with the most probable combination of words based on what you've put in. So where it's got its training data from is it is websites from 2009 that have been scraped. So if you ask about your maybe your company, it gives an answer, it's probably pulled it off your website at some point. And the other thing it's done is all books out of copyright, any publicly available research papers are in there as well. So when you're asking on a particular topic or technique, that's what it's showing, just all the material that's in the training data. If it's not in the training data, you're able to easily add your own as well. So let's say you have your own reports and things you've created, but isn't on the internet, but you still wanted to create, let's say, you want to turn some research that you've created into a blog post, or you're wanting to turn a blog post into a tweet. You could just give that into ChatGPT, and then it will figure out how to summarize it and shrink it.
Wow. Yeah. great explanation. I'm sure the folks at home are really enjoying the way you're sort of breaking down the concept. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Dawid, we're running out of time. Just quickly, I wanted just really quickly to talk about the future. So where do you see things going? Because there's a lot of fear out there as well about where things are going. What's your take on things?
I don't think there's the only area that I get afraid about is the fraud and deep fakes and that side of AI. I think that is we don't have an answer for that yet. I think it is scary. So for instance, you could take my voice from today's conversation and upload it into there are many tools that'll do this, and you'll be able to create an instant voice replica of me that you wouldn't be able to distinguish me from the bot version of it. People fear job loss and things like that. I don't think that that's really I don't see any data really supporting that, because usually people are wanting time back. Or companies are saying we need more people. We don't have enough time. They're usually not saying we need less people. That's the usual issue. And AI gives us the huge opportunity to get a lot of the time back, because the admin work and the things that I was talking about, they're usually the plus ones of the job that we're doing. They're not the core part of our profession. Where it's going is the models at the moment, there's a lot of work as a user that you need to do to get it right. And when I say a lot of work, just means a lot of back and forth with a tool like ChatGPT to get a good answer. Over time, these models are becoming more and more powerful. They're trained on bigger and bigger data sets. It'll be much easier in the future to just ask a simple question and get a really, really good response. Whereas at the moment, there's a whole field called prompt engineering, which is essentially just how you ask the question to ChatGPT.
Right.
So that'll
That's
get better.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then the final thing is a lot of the problems with tools like ChatGPT with inaccuracy and a thing called hallucination, where it just makes things up. Those things will get weeded out as particularly Silicon Valley. All this tech is coming from essentially like a 20-kilometer radius in the US. All the talent is working on fixing a lot of these core problems and making it cheaper and faster as well.
Wow. Pretty amazing. Well, Dawid, again, thanks for your time. We're just popping up your website underneath us here. Really appreciate your time. You're a busy man. It's a really interesting space. I'm really grateful that you've spent the time talking to our members today about where things are at, and particularly making it relevant. So the examples that you gave shows that, you know, in business, in a clinical business, that there's a lot to be gained from what you were talking about. So it's been a really, really interesting connect. So I appreciate your time. I think the association might be having you back doing some webinars and whatnot as well into the future. So thanks again, everyone at home. Thank you for watching Connect, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.